The wind howled through the crumbling stone arches, whispering secrets of a forgotten past. Each step echoed in the hollow chambers of the ancient ruins, a testament to a civilization lost to time. 3 adventurers, Matt, Sarah, and Liam, stood at the entrance, their flashlights flickering against the encroaching darkness. "These ruins are supposed to be older than anything we've ever seen," Matt said, his voice tinged with excitement. Sarah adjusted her backpack, a hint of nervousness in her eyes. "Older means more dangerous." Liam chuckled, trying to lighten the mood. "More dangerous means more fun, right?" They ventured deeper, their footsteps growing tentative as the air thickened with an unsettling chill. The walls were adorned with strange symbols, etched in a language no one had spoken for millennia. Sarah traced her fingers over the carvings, a sense of foreboding settling over her. "This place, it feels wrong," she murmured. Ignoring her unease, Matt led the way into a vast chamber. At its center stood a stone pedestal, an ominous artifact resting upon it. The artifact was a jagged piece of obsidian, dark and glossy, pulsating with an eerie glow. "That's it," Liam said, his eyes wide with awe. "That's what we've been looking for." As Matt reached for the obsidian, Sarah grabbed his arm. "Wait, we don't know what it does." But it was too late. The moment Matt's fingers brushed the surface, the ground trembled and a deafening roar echoed through the chamber. The symbols on the walls began to glow, casting an otherworldly light that filled the room. "We need to get out of here," Liam shouted, panic rising in his voice. They turned to flee, but the exit was no longer there. Instead, they were surrounded by an impenetrable darkness, the walls closing in around them. The air grew colder, and the sound of whispers filled their ears, ancient voices chanting in a forgotten tongue. Matt clutched the obsidian, trying to pry his fingers away, but it was as if the artifact had fused with his hand. A searing pain shot through his arm, and he screamed, collapsing to the ground. "Matt!" Sarah cried, dropping to her knees beside him. The whispers grew louder, the voices more insistent. The chamber seemed to stretch and warp, the walls rippling like the surface of a disturbed pond. Shadows moved within the darkness, eyes glinting with malevolent intent. "We're not alone," Liam whispered, his voice trembling. Suddenly, the darkness receded, and they found themselves standing outside the ruins. The obsidian still clutched in Matt's hand. The whispers had ceased, but an oppressive silence hung in the air. "What just happened?" Sarah asked, her voice barely a whisper. Matt struggled to his feet, his face pale and drawn. "I don't know, but we need to leave. Now." They stumbled back to civilization, the weight of the artifact a constant reminder of the horrors they had faced. But as the days passed, strange things began to happen. Matt's health deteriorated rapidly, his skin growing pale and sickly. Shadows seemed to follow them wherever they went, lurking just out of sight. Sarah was plagued by nightmares, visions of the ruins and the chanting voices haunting her every night. Liam heard whispers in the darkness, voices calling his name, urging him to return to the ruins. Desperate, they sought out experts and scholars, but no one could offer any answers. The symbols were unlike anything known to man, the artifact defying all attempts to study it. The curse was real, and it was growing stronger. One night, Sarah woke to find Matt standing at the foot of her bed, the obsidian glowing in his hand. His eyes were vacant, his expression one of abject terror. "Sarah," he whispered, his voice hollow. "It's inside me. I can feel it." Before she could react, Matt collapsed, convulsing violently. The obsidian rolled from his hand, and as it touched the floor, it shattered, releasing a cloud of dark, swirling mist. The mist enveloped Matt, seeping into his pores, his body writhing in agony. Sarah screamed, trying to pull him away, but the mist was relentless. It consumed him, leaving nothing but a lifeless husk. Liam burst into the room, his eyes wide with horror. "We have to destroy it." But it was too late. The mist turned its attention to them, the whispers growing louder, more insistent. They fled, but the curse followed them, a relentless force that could not be escaped. As they drove through the night, the car swerved, shadows darting in front of the headlights. The whispers were everywhere, filling their minds with dread. They could feel the curse tightening its grip, the darkness closing in around them. "We can't outrun it," Sarah said, her voice trembling. "We have to face it." Liam nodded, his hands shaking as he gripped the steering wheel. "What do we do?" Sarah thought of the ruins, the ancient symbols, the chanting voices. "We go back. We end this where it began." They returned to the ruins, the night air thick with tension. The entrance loomed before them, a gaping maw ready to swallow them whole. They ventured inside, the oppressive silence amplifying their fear. The chamber was as they had left it, the stone pedestal empty, the walls still glowing with the strange symbols. The whispers began anew, the voices chanting, demanding sacrifice. Sarah stepped forward, holding the shattered pieces of the obsidian. "What do you want?" she cried. The shadows coalesced, forming a shape, a being of pure darkness. It spoke in a language they couldn't understand, but the intent was clear. "Liam, no!" Sarah screamed as he was dragged into the darkness, his screams echoing in the chamber. "Sarah," his voice faded, swallowed by the void. Sarah was alone, the darkness closing in. The whispers were deafening now, the shadows pressing against her. She felt the curse reaching for her, its icy tendrils wrapping around her soul. With a final desperate effort, she hurled the obsidian pieces at the stone pedestal. They shattered against the ancient rock, a blinding light erupting from the impact. The chamber shook, the walls cracking, the darkness recoiling. The curse was broken. Sarah collapsed to the ground, the oppressive weight lifting. The whispers ceased, the shadows retreating. She was alone in the ruins, the silence now a balm to her frayed nerves. She made her way back to civilization, her mind scarred by the ordeal. The ruins were sealed, the artifact destroyed, but the memories remained. Years later, Sarah still hears the whispers sometimes, in the dead of night. A reminder that some curses are never truly broken, and some evils can never be forgotten.